Let's set the stage. It's 1989, and action films have largely been defined by muscle-bound heroes and explosions. Then comes John Woo's The Killer, a movie that elevates action to an art form. It's more than gunfights and carnage. It's a tale of honor, redemption, and the human cost of violence. We'll dive into the heart of this Hong Kong classic. We'll explore its gripping story, unforgettable characters, and John Woo's signature style that changed the game for action cinema forever. The story begins with a contract killing. Chow Yun-fat's Ah Jong is a professional assassin, cold, efficient, and meticulous. His world is one of shadows and silence, where trust is rare and betrayal is inevitable. Ah Jong's latest mission is textbook for him: eliminate a target and disappear into the night. But this time, the collateral damage is life-altering. In the chaotic aftermath of a nightclub shootout, Ah Jong's stray bullet blinds a singer named Jenny, played by Sally Ye. This accident is pivotal. It transforms Ah Jong from a detached killer to a man burdened by guilt. He begins visiting Jenny under the guise of a stranger, drawn to her vulnerability and resilience. The connection they share is tender, subtle, and deeply human. As Jenny struggles with her blindness, Ah Jong vows to atone for what he's done. But how does a killer make amends for a life he's destroyed? For Ah Jong, the answer lies in one last job. The money will pay for Jenny's surgery and perhaps give her a future. Meanwhile, across the city, we meet Detective Ying, portrayed by Danny Lee. Ying is the antithesis of Ah Jong, an unwavering cop who believes in justice above all else. He's tasked with tracking down this mysterious assassin. For Ying, the hunt is personal. He despises the lawlessness Ah Jong represents. As Ying digs deeper into Ah Jong's trail, he uncovers layers of complexity in this elusive killer. What begins as a straightforward manhunt evolves into something much deeper. Ying starts to see shades of honor in Ah Jong, a code of ethics that blurs the line between right and wrong. One of the most striking aspects of The Killer is its exploration of honor. Both Ah Jong and Ying are men driven by codes, but their worlds couldn't be more different. Ah Jong's loyalty is to those he's wronged, while Ying's is to the law. Yet through their interactions, we see a bond forming, a reluctant respect that transcends their roles as hunter and hunted. This theme is a hallmark of John Woo's films. He often places his characters in morally ambiguous situations, forcing us to question traditional notions of heroism. In The Killer, there are no simple villains, only flawed humans making impossible choices. Let's talk about the action, because in The Killer, every gunfight is a masterpiece. John Woo doesn't just direct action, he choreographs it like a ballet. Think of it as violence elevated to poetry. The slow-motion sequences, the dual-wielding pistols, the dramatic dives, all of these elements have become synonymous with Woo's style. The church shootout, for instance, is one of the most iconic scenes in action cinema. Picture this: doves fluttering in the air, sunlight streaming through stained glass, and amidst it all, Ah Jong and Ying standing back to back, fighting off a small army. It's chaos and beauty intertwined. But Wu doesn't glorify violence. Every shot fired has a consequence. The bloodshed is visceral, the pain palpable. It's a stark reminder that while the action may be stylized, the stakes are real. Beyond the personal struggles of Ah Jong and Ying lies a larger narrative about corruption. The triads, Ah Jong's former employers, serve as a ruthless reminder of the cost of loyalty. When Ah
I
Jong
want him dead, and I mean yesterday!
of an assassin, they see him as
100,000 US into my account.
their betrayal is swift and brutal, setting the stage for the film's explosive climax. The film also critiques the system Ying serves. The police, while ostensibly on the side of justice, are hampered by bureaucracy and moral compromise. Both men are caught in webs of deceit, forced to navigate a world where ideals are a luxury. As the film hurtles toward its conclusion, the stakes couldn't be higher. Jenny's surgery depends on Ah Jong's survival, but the triads are closing in. Ying, torn between duty and newfound respect for Ah Jong, faces his own moral reckoning. Their alliance is uneasy but necessary, a partnership forged in blood and necessity. The action sequences escalate in intensity, culminating in a final showdown that's as emotional as it is explosive. Every bullet feels like a character's last breath, every wound a testament to the sacrifices made. The climax of The Killer is unforgettable. Without giving away too much, let's just say it's not a Hollywood ending. John Woo doesn't shy away from tragedy. Instead, he leans into it, showing us the true cost of violence and redemption. By the time the credits roll, we're left grappling with questions. Can someone truly atone for their past? And is there any justice in a world so steeped in blood? The Killer wasn't just a box office hit, it was a game changer. It put John Woo on the map, influencing filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino and the Wachowskis. It also introduced Western audiences to the brilliance of Chow Yun-fat, whose portrayal of Ah Jong is equal parts stoic and soulful. The film's legacy lives on in action cinema, from the stylized gunfights of The Matrix to the emotional depth of Logan. But more than that, The Killer remains a timeless story of redemption and sacrifice. John Woo's The Killer is more than a movie, it's an experience. It's a film that speaks to the heart, even as it dazzles the eyes. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it. And if you have, watch it again. Each viewing reveals new layers of brilliance. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of Hong Kong's finest films. If you enjoyed this recap, hit like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more in-depth looks at the world's greatest movies. Until next time, stay cinematic.